So to quickly explain what bending the rules means is it's kinda extreme, but like I said, it's still kinda between the rules, but it's kinda not. And that's like using the spirit attack from your living weapon. Like it's kinda against the rules to do that because obviously you're not allowed to use a weapon, but you're technically not really using the weapon. You're using the spirit attack of your spirit. And the reason why that's not entirely wrong is because the spirit talisman that you have here is actually the same thing. It's like considered a magic item, but the thing that you cast with it is not magic, it's a spirit attack. And although it's counted to be magic, it's still not magic because it actually doesn't scale with your magic attribute, but with your spirit attribute. But making a, let's say, like making an entire skill tree, like spirit related magic, and only put like one skill in it, that would be a little silly. Because so they put it into magic instead of making a separate tree. So that kind of makes the spirit attack from your living weapon kind of magic as well. You know, it's not really magic because you're technically using your weapon, but it's technically still acceptable because your talisman pretty much does the same thing. Because you use a non-magic item to cast a non-magic skill, pretty much. And like to prove my point is like in Nioh 2 it's even worse. Like the first skills you have there is like the talismans. You also have them here, but there that's the only things you have. So there you cannot do an only magic run without using a weapon, at least at the beginning. So sometimes you have to like bend the rules to a new extreme, you could say. I first tried to like farm uh, untouched Omeo um, armor, but after farming a few hours that didn't work. And I noticed that this works pretty much the same thing. And it gives me like 2 or 3 more casts from my spirit attack instead of the 3 that I only have from my items. I might have screwed that there. Wasn't on time to have the fire going. Like here I just didn't make it, but I think if I time it right, that it's actually pretty doable. I also didn't hit it from the back this time, but you see that it's pretty much dead by only using magic, only with a slight bending of the rules there. But of course we're gonna kill ourselves now because it's still meant to kill the bosses with only magic. And of course that will be easier once we get like fire and water and earth shots. But as for now we're locked out of that. That's simply how the game works. And I have to recall my spirit here because otherwise you cannot even use the talisman. So that further reinforces what I'm saying, like a pure magic thing without using anything else in the beginning is a little hard because you don't have any pure magic skills. You like either use magic by also using your spirit, and your spirit is technically not magic, or you're using weapon by technically like using a weapon, but only like put magic on it. That's not magic either. It's still like a buffed weapon. But that's like the only two choices that you have here. It's either use the spirits and make a slight bending of the rules by also using the living weapon, or use a weapon and just put magic on it. And like I said, in the first game, you still have the choice. You know, you can use the spirit, you can use the weapon. In Nioh 2, that's different. There you only have the weapon buff spells. So if you do only magic run there, you really have to use a weapon. Like ideally you wanna like hit them 3 times from the back and keep the fire going. But that's not always all that easy. Especially if you get hit. You see, like even with like slightly bending the rules, it's still hard, but I believe it's doable. And like obviously we wanna like hit it at the back because you do more damage. And we wanna keep the fire going just for the extra damage as well. But that's what you see, like if you do a no weapon run technically, like the damage that you deal has to be like very precise. Like if you don't hit them at the back, you're not gonna make it. If you don't keep the fire going, like at least 3 times, you will not have enough burn damage to like kill him off. Luckily, compared to Nioh 2, the living weapon actually builds up pretty fast. The eagle is like slightly faster than the wolf, but of course the eagle is wind, and wind doesn't do any burn damage over time. So that's why we went with the wolf, to have that burn damage over time. To start with as much damage as we possibly could. I also forgot to apply the weak talisman previous time. It's fine, we wouldn't have had it there. Like I said, you wanna hit it 2 times at the back to have like optimal damage. But you also have to do it like fast enough to have the burn going before it wears off again. And then you can use your third wolf to keep the fire going. The second wasn't at the back, but maybe if we're lucky, it will still burn for enough to I think we have it here. If we don't die. Oh, we died. That's unfortunately. But you see, with the burn damage and 2 or 3 spirit attacks from the living weapon, it should be doable. But the reason that it's like kind of cheating, you see that living weapon builds up like a little bit of familiarity with your weapon, so that's kind of against the rules. But like I said, in Nioh 2 it's even worse, because there you have to use a weapon. Like I already did the like only ninja tools um, in Nioh 2, and that is pretty doable in that way. Like you start off pretty weak, you don't have the damage for it, but the thing is you have much more things to your disposal. You know, you have like poison axe, I believe you already have from the start. You have shurikens, you have fire bombs that count for fire damage over time. Also, poison damage over time is also pretty good. So there it's much easier to have like a pure ninja run. But with magic, at least in this game, you have to bend the rules a little bit. Because like ninja and magic is like more a little bit a side thing here. It's not like in Elden Ring or something. That is like a total main thing by itself. It's not like that. And I got bad luck. The first wolf didn't build up the fire, unfortunately, and that one wasn't in time. So like you see, even with like bending the rules, it's still a little tedious. There we go. Now it's just a matter of having the fire going. I have one attack too short. And like the reason that I'm showing this is it's pretty simple. Like you see like uh, a lot of runs like online. They show you like only the end result, you know. Like like oh I killed that boss with that and that, and that's good. But like the thing with runs like this is like it takes a lot of time and efforts to actually get it going because like if I would go to like my Neo 2 character, like the ninja tool build, like she can pretty much take out bosses pretty easily. And then you think like, oh, this looks simple, but like in the beginning, you barely deal damage. You often run short of supplies. So it really takes like a lot of time to even get to a point. And and I feel with Magic it's even worse than with like the Nia tool stuff because you're like even more limited in the options you have, especially in the second one as well. Like you don't have Earth Magic there. You do not have um I think you don't have Wind Magic either. Um yeah, I think Earth and Wind you don't have that there. So that's like two magics that you have here that you don't have there. You don't have the guardian spirit talisman in the second one, at least not from the start. You could kind of get it like a few uses of it with like the Kodama Bazaar, but like refreshing that thing is a pain. At least here you start with it from the start. No, no. I got lucky that I could build it up just in time. Now we will have it here. The burn damage will normally finish him off. There we go. So you see, only magic it is doable. Like eventually it gets easier because you get like untouched Omeo magic items. But you see here from all the items that I have, and I already like sacrificed a ton of them. Like I really have like a lot of items here, but none of them give me any Omeo. You see, that's like the other thing, unlimited ninjutsu. That is really good if you go for a ninja build, but we're not doing that here. What was the other status effects? We're not really guarding. Equipment drop rate, that could be good. Let's go for that. You, you see that you also find like it's good if you use like the fire talisman. Um, but I think that goes a little bit too far because it's really using a weapon, and you have another way here in Neo 1 compared to Neo 2. But we're still gonna keep it because the living weapon attack is like it gets stronger from this one. That's the words that I'm looking for. So technically, with a little cheating between brackets of the rules, we beat our first boss with only magic.
Who are you?
A foreigner? Your skill against Oni is impressive.
As is your skill with English.
My name is Hanzo Hattori. And you are?
Call me William. I'm here in pursuit of someone.
An enemy, perhaps? Hunting a person down in a strange land will not be easy. If you lend me your strength in fighting Oni, I will help you in return. Well then. Dawn is breaking. Come.天下人であった太閤秀吉様が亡くなり、この国では今、二人の侍が歯を競っておる。一人は秀吉様を継いだ石田三成と、もう一人は我が主君、徳川家康様。わしは家康様から西国大名たちの調略を任され、この九州へ参ったのだ。ウィリアム、近頃巷には地味猛量が出没し、大名たちは手を焼いておる。鬼を切るその腕を売り込めば調略の好機となろう。案ずるな。あやかし騒ぎを追えばお主の仇も現れよう。まずは家康様に近しい隣国豊前の官兵衛殿のもとに参ろう。
まれびとは歓迎するぞ。死に急がぬ。
いらっしゃい。
I thought you have a like an check all option, but seems not. And the reason that I choose to like sell items instead of like breaking them down into different materials is because different materials are often used to craft weapons, what we're not gonna do in this playthrough. So like the gold that we get from every piece is actually more beneficial than the materials we get from it. Wait. No, that we don't want to sell. Now I see why there was no option. We were in the wrong menu. Oh yeah, it's true. We also need the iron fragments. So we might wanna um, like break down some parts because ideally what we want is a set with a untouched Omeo magic. Like what we will do most of the times is like pretty much run mostly past enemies. It's because like seeing someone farm is not the most enjoyable part of a stream. Plus at the moment we just don't have the magic to deal with all of them. Even though I would love to, and on a normal playthrough, I also would. But in the beginning, you really have to pick your battles. It's annoying with all of them here. But then again, then you see how a magic playthrough goes. It's a lot harder and a lot more tedious than a normal playthrough. Where is he? Oh, there he is. That's the guy we have to kill in this mission. And this will go just amazingly. And you can think, why play this way, why do it? Like I said, it's just for the fun of it. To see how viable magic really is in this game. Because a lot of games, they offer you a lot of ways to like build or to like make a character. And that is really nice, but not all ways are like as viable, you know? You, you can think it as like Souls games, like a bow build. It's not impossible, it's doable, but it's also a little lackluster compared to like normal Norman weaponry. And maybe if I go here, I can avoid the dude. That's good. And now I only have to deal with those three over here. And also another little downside of magic is that it is very, very slow. Like if you play like a ninja, your shurikens and your Q9s and even your bombs, they come out pretty fast. You can pretty much spam them, but with magic it's differently. You're standing still. You need that second to cast the thing that you try to cast. And then you also need to be lucky that you don't like totally whip it. And that's also the thing at the moment, because I don't have my spirit. You hear it. I cannot use it anyway. And like the reason you kind of have to pull all of those guys is is because you don't have many spell casts. So if you need to kill a specific target, like the guy over here, you really need to make sure that you hit him with pretty much everything you have. And I'm in a really bad spot. So yeah, again, like I said, an only ninja build and only magic build, it sounds very fun. But it's also a pain. Like especially because like the real magic, like the fireballs and the different shots that you have, they unlock quite a bit later into the game. So at the moment you're really only stuck with like an armor reduction. And a spirit. There we go. And for some reason the game only gives me like ninja good stuff. Like you see, this is two good things, but it is for a ninja. So the game is not it's not very kind on me at the moment. Why is this one still? I think it's probably a bug. It's still like it's marked. It's like like that is marked that it's nil, but it's not.
いらっしゃい。またどうぞ。
But like runs like this, they have a lot of farming, like a painful amount of farming in it. And we barely have enough for a level. Like you can see it, which level am I right now? I'm level 30 and I just did like the first main mission. So it proves how much farming you do in a level. And I think that's just like the biggest difference between magic and a ninja build That is that a ninja build has quite a lot of stuff right from the beginning, while a magic build does not. And I just threw myself off the cliff. Great. And like pretty much the best things you can do is like farm near shrines, because if you die there, you don't have that much of a run back to do. Well, if you like farm far away from a shrine and you die, you're pretty much like a little screwed because you don't have your guarding spirit, so you cannot attack. I really hate those bats. That was close. And like just the annoying thing about like magic is like because you have so yeah, you pretty much have nothing from the start. So here that's also just like the annoying part. Technically, yeah, I could use my fists. That's not entirely like um, against the rules. But you see that your means of dealing damage and dealing with a lot of enemies and leveling up and getting items is annoying to say the least. At least we have the burn damage that helps us a lot. But you see, because the dweller did take the hit there, the the yokai isn't dead. And like this painful way of playing, to say it like that, it still takes like a moment before you get Nioh spells and before you get better spells. One more and he should be done. And that's a real pity. Because he dropped some items, he could have dropped some good items, but you died. And like you see, they do not stay on the floor. Because you are here, I can't rest, but that should be done by now. And you can technically like restart the level and kill the yokai again. but it is painful. And like that's the reason that I like make these videos. It's just to show like people like alternative runs can be fun, but like people that want to start with that, like just know that you start with like a really bad time, you know? Like at best you run from shrine to shrine, and hopefully pick up some good loot along the way. But if you don't kill enemies, that's really unlikely. Oh, I took the wrong side. And true, this ladder is not down yet. So you have to like go up again and take the other path and then drop down to get to the shrine. But this is what a like an alternative run really looks like, at least in this game. It's a lot of running from enemies that you don't have the means to deal with. And it's just because the lack of spells is like really bad in this game. At least at the beginning, like I said, it like gets a lot better the further you get in the game. But at least at the beginning, it's a pain. And I don't remember how to get to the other upper path to get to the shrine. And even if I get there, I also want to like um, not use my magic along the way because the shrine is guarded by a yokai, and if you don't kill it, you cannot rest at the shrine. And where is that little upper path again? You will like always find it, and then the moment that you need to find it, you will not. And I generally lost my way here. But like I said, that's because you're like mostly running from enemies and not always focus on where you're going. like pretty much the only good thing that you have about this place is that a lot of yokais here they respawn. So most of the times they drop more stuff than humans, at least more Amarita. But that's why like runs like this they have a lot of farming in them because like I said your ways of dealing damage is pretty limited. So like you have to farm a lot and be lucky that you get the right gear, at least until you have enough materials to like farm the gear, or like more materials to like reroll your gear and hopefully get some good stats. But until that time, you're really only you're only having like a limited amount of spells, and that's quite an understatement. With only 3 spell casts. Plus, if you're unlucky that you don't get any good gear, then yeah, you're pretty much out of luck here. Because then you have to reroll all your stats. And sorry for that, sometimes I get stuck in my words. I really don't want to waste my spells on you as a skeleton. The only good thing about this is that they burn pretty long. But still, if you whip your spells like that, you still might not be able to kill him. But at least farming Amrita and farming levels is pretty doable here. And the Sacred Brush that we just picked up is also pretty good. You get spellcast back from with that. But until later that you have more spells, it's pretty useless to waste it on this one, because you only have 3. But like this way, I hope you guys have like a better understanding how an alternative run works and how much pain and suffering you go through before actually getting somewhere. And like I said, that's mainly because your lack of spells. But like it also depends how you like yourself choose to play. Um, like I I choose for it to like not use any weapons in Nioh 1, to only stick to my basic spirit attack spell at the moment. Like you could say like yeah, I'm making the rules a little easier for myself. Like I'm gonna use a weapon, but only if I like indulge it with a status effect, like fire, lightning. Like you could do that as well, and if you do it that way, you have a lot more spells to work with. Like you have fire enchantments, you have lightning, water, wind, and I think even earth already. But if you do it like I do, then you're really limited to like farming a lot and getting lucky that you get the right gear. But like I said already, in the second level here, especially if you get to this point, farming becomes a lot easier because the yokai drop for quite an Amrita count. So your level will at least be rising. But if you play like me, I also like suggest that you like bring up your spirits quite a bit because, like I said, the damage from this spell, the Spirit Guard attack, like that damage is not based on your magic stats, even though it's Omeo magic, but it's based on your spirit stats and how powerful your guarding spirit is. But like also if you play like this, the thing is you're pretty much how would I say it? You pretty much rush through your levels for quite a while. Because like I said, you do not have the spells or the damage to deal with a lot of stuff. So what you mostly do is like you you just rush to the boss. You try to kill it. Hopefully you make it. Skill library. Skills. That's also pretty nice. Of course, not for my build, but it's a nice status effect. But we'll quickly back to the point that I was saying. Like, if you play it like this, you're pretty much boss rushing until the point that you meet the mage girl. Then you get the dojo mission that will teach you more magic stuff, and then from that moment you also have fire shot and stuff. And like if you combine that with untouched Omeo that I don't have unfortunately, you can really like start you can really start on your magic journey. You can really start on like doing more, and especially like if you have like good gear to like complement with that, like power ups or the untouched Omeo, then you like come to a point that you really can like deal with pretty much everything in a level. But at the moment we're not at that point. So what I'm gonna try now to do is like see my damage against this boss. I'm gonna see if I can like wear her down enough that the fire might kill her. But it's a little bit an annoying boss compared to the previous one because she is fast. And like I said, magic is kinda slow to cast. That's unfortunately. And even the bats almost kill me. And that's also the thing, because my armor is uh, it's not good against this boss or anything. My armor is more based on the passive effects that I get from it, like Amrita earned and gold earned and item drop rate. So it's more like passive wise that this armor is benefiting me, but like armor wise, like defense wise or resist wise, this armor just sucks. And you see that I just got whipped. I might actually just kill the Oni there, just to be rid of it, so I can just run to the boss easier. Because the ones in the gray clouds, they do not respawn. And the fire should be able to kill him here. There we go. It's good armor, but no good passives. So that's why we're not using it. Also, our stats are too low to actually make use of the passives of this item. That's one. Just gonna farm some guys to like build up my living weapon, because like I stated earlier, I feel like the living weapon is kinda still magic, at least the spirit attack that you do, because the spirit attack here is also doing exactly that. So it would be like a little silly to say like, yeah, the spirit attack from the talisman, that is fine to use, but like the spirit attack from the living weapon is not fine to use, even though it's pretty much the same thing. I'm just gonna kill this dweller here, and then before we wrap up here, we're gonna try and see how the boss goes. But it might as well be that I need to farm even more. That is a good one for the Kodama sense. But of course, with my magic build, that will not do all too much. But also like the like magic based armor sets, they only come like later into the game. And if I hit you with like 2 spirits, that's also the thing. If the enemy you try to hit is like too close to you, your attack just whips. Like that also depends on the spirit that you use. Like the bird has more like a tornado attack that's pretty stationary. So I don't think you have any problem with that. But the wolf is kind of like this little jump before he like attacks. But yeah, that's a little a problem. At least if you're close to an enemy. And like the shark is even worse. Like the shark gives you like 1 extra magic point, and you're pretty tempted to then like go for the shark. But the spirit attack from the shark is so random that I do not recommend taking it. And like I said, the reason why I also recommend the wolf above like the shark or the eagle It's just because the wolf is fire, so you also have this fire damage over time. I totally whipped my second attack, and with that I totally whipped my third attack as well. So like I said, together with the attacks from my spirit weapon, I should be able to do it, rather. But if you totally whip your attacks like that, it's game over. Like that's also a little problem that you saw. Like if you have like airborne enemies, like she does in the fight. Well, yeah, you're pretty much, at least with this spirit attack, you're pretty much out of luck. You know, you cannot do anything while she's up in the air. But luckily, she staggers pretty easily. No, damn it. Like you see, if she like doesn't spend her time into the air, I think we could have her like even with the damage here, because it's pretty much like one more spirit attack and some burn damage and she's done. But because she spent like so much time into the air, I wasn't able to hit her or to like keep the fire going. But like you see, like with some determination, a magic build is doable. The only annoying thing that you have is like having to farm your spirit all the time. But that's gonna be it for for this one. I probably end up farming a little more, testing my luck with some item drops. I hope I get some magic related gear. I definitely get some levels here because the yokai they drop for quite a bit. But like I already said, I really need better armor. Like in that way, I need armor that gives me like bonuses for my magic, and that's something that I don't have at the moment.